What's up, internet? This is Ninja22. The Atari VCS has finally been shown, and now we can kind of talk about the way it looks and all that stuff. They still haven't really shown any games, but they kind of showed an interesting concept about it. And that is that this is not going to be your typical console, or at least they say. In fact, there's a quote that it is going to be the Raspberry Pi for the living room. And I guess what they mean by that is that there's going to be a sandbox mode in which you can pretty much put any OS you want on there. When they say any, I'm pretty sure they don't mean Mac OS, because obviously I'm pretty sure you can't put Mac OS on it. But theoretically you could put like Windows 10 on there, which also means you could put Steam on there, and boom, you know what, this is like the Steam OS all over again, except you're gonna get a Atari OS of some sort with an Atari store. Although this does come packaged with 100 games, but let's get into the specs of it all. So it's gonna have an AMD Ryzen embedded 1606G processor. The 14 nanometer dual core quad threaded processor has a 2.6 gigahertz base frequency and a 3.5 gigahertz boost, and it's paired with a Vega 3 graphics engine. Yeah, I have no idea what that means, and I have no idea what system you can compare that to, whether that's a base model Xbox One or an Xbox One X. I highly doubt it. But yeah, that's a bit of information there. I guess the Atari operating system is going to have many applications, including Netflix, Hulu, social media, and of course an Atari app store, which I mentioned earlier. Honestly, it looks more like it's a set-top box with the Atari logo, and it can play a couple of games from the Atari app store. And then because there's a sandbox mode, you can put your Steam library on there. You can play, I don't want to say all your Steam games, because it doesn't seem like it's a very strong console, although I'm not 100% sure, since I'm not really sure what that processor sports, but who knows. In fact, they showed that it played Borderlands 3 and Fortnite, but we'll see what other games it could play. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It has a 32 gigabyte eMMC storage. What that means, I believe eMMC is like a modified SD card, but it's memory that's permanently on your console. So in terms of speed, it's about as fast as an SD card. But once again, I'm not here to look at the spec. I'm here to look at the console itself and what kind of games it delivers. So the way that it's going to be sold is that you can get a 4 gigabyte model for $249. You can get an 8 gigabytes of RAM model for $279, or you can get, looks like retailers have their own exclusive. If you look at GameStop, they have a retail exclusive that is $389.99, and then Walmart has their golds, whatever that means. That's the same price, $389.99. Then, of course, you can buy the joystick, which I think looks really cool. So even if you don't get the system, get the joystick. And that's going to be $49.99. And the modern-ish controller is going to be $59.99. It's interesting that they're going to take the route of selling this to their consumers as if it was as if it was an expensive Raspberry Pi. I would not classify it as a Raspberry Pi, although there is a sandbox mode, which sounds kind of cool, but that would kind of make it a PC. So looking at the specs, is this worth it as a PC? But it's interesting because Steambox tried to make this a thing where it could... It's interesting because Steambox tried to become the PC for the living room. That didn't quite pan out. This one's claiming that it can be the PC for the living room, or I guess the Raspberry Pi for the living room, and I could see that happening. But the thing is I don't think people actually want a PC for the living room. I think people want PCs and then they want consoles. But we'll see what people think about this. I'm really interested. I've been following this. I know a lot of people have been against this whole idea just because of how shady this company has been. But like I've mentioned in my previous video, I feel like it started off as a shady tactic. Once they kicked that guy out, is now a real investment. I think Atari believes they can get a investment back on this project, so they want to put more into it. Honestly, the console itself looks really cool. I like the rigid looking style. And I've said this a bunch of times already, I really like the joystick. I want the joystick alone. But if I'm able to, I think I'll pick up one of these consoles. If for any reason, at least because of the sandbox mode. But that's a kind of... I will be honest, the price tag is a bit hefty, but we'll see. I'll see how all the reviews come out and all that stuff. So let me know down below. Are you excited for this? Was this the news that really pushed you to finally get this? Or is it still kind of up in the air? Let me know down below.